The Spirit of the Lord is thundering across the nations with a voice that shakes not only the earth, but the heavens. God is calling his people higher, not tomorrow, not later. Now, he is issuing a holy summons to ascend, not in pride, not in position, but in posture. He is calling for a people who will come out from the shallow places, who will tear themselves away from the comforts of complacency, who will throw off the chains of distraction and rise into the fire of his presence. This is not a season for casual faith. This is not a moment for lukewarm Christianity. This is the hour of the mountain climbers, those who, like Moses, will dare to enter into the thick darkness where God is. For the Spirit cries, "Come up here!" Not just to see, but to be transformed. Not just to listen, but to burn. We have lingered too long at the base of the mountain. We have camped where it is safe, where the air is easy, where the people are many. But the cloud is moving. The fire is ascending. And the Spirit is saying, "How long will you remain in the valley of distraction when I have carved a path into glory?" You were not made to live in the foothills of faith. You were not born again to be bound by the natural. You were redeemed to rise. You were created to climb. For in the heights of his presence is the revelation the earth is groaning for. In the summit of surrender is the glory that transforms. But the way is narrow. The climb is steep. And the call is not for the faint-hearted, but for the burning-hearted. The trumpet is sounding across the heavens, and only those with spiritual ears will hear. This is the same call that beckoned John in Revelation. "Come up here, and I will show you what must take place after this." Do you hear it? This is not poetry. This is prophecy. God is inviting you into the place where secrets are revealed, where mysteries are made known, where the strategies for the last days are imparted. But you cannot receive them from the valley. You cannot hear clearly when you are surrounded by the noise of culture and comfort. You must come higher. You must silence the world and climb with your spirit. For the higher you go, the clearer you see. The higher you go, the more you burn. And the higher you go, the more his voice thunders within you. Many will hear the call, but few will respond. Because the mountain demands death, death to ego, death to agenda, death to everything familiar. It is no small thing to ascend. The climb costs everything. But what is the price of remaining in the shallow? What is the price of staying in the safe zone while heaven roars and destinies are being written on the heights? God is not calling spectators. He is calling intercessors. He is not calling for applause. He is calling for surrender. This is the hour of divine separation, where those who climb will be set apart by the fire of his glory. The casual will be bypassed. The convenient will be forgotten. But those who say, "Here I am, I will go up," will be marked by something the world cannot explain. Remember Moses. The Lord called him to Mount Sinai, and he ascended into the thick darkness, not away from God, but into the place where God dwelled. It was terrifying, it was holy, it was consuming. And yet Moses did not shrink back, he climbed, and when he descended, his face shone with glory. That is what happens when you answer the call to come higher. You don't just visit God's presence, you become a carrier of it. You don't just encounter fire, you become fire. The world does not need more eloquent Christians. It needs burning ones. It needs those who have seen God on the mountain and now walk with heaven in their bones. But be warned, this invitation will not remain open forever. Just as the door on the ark closed, just as the season of grace gave way to judgment, so too this call to ascend has an expiration. God is shaking everything that can be shaken, and those who remain in the valley will be swept away by fear, confusion, and compromise. But those who have gone higher, those who have built altars on the mountaintop, will not be shaken. They will shine like torches in the darkness. They will speak as oracles of heaven. They will not echo culture. They will declare the word of the Lord. So rise, climb. Tear yourself away from everything that dulls your fire. Shut the door, turn off the noise. Set your face like flint and ascend into the secret place. Let your cry be like David's. One thing have I desired of the Lord, and that will I seek, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to behold the beauty of the Lord and to inquire in his temple. Let heaven see that you are serious. Let hell know that you will not be distracted. Let your flesh die on the mountain so your spirit can live in the fire. This is not the time to descend. This is the time to arise. The trumpet is sounding. The invitation has gone forth. The Spirit is crying, "Come up here." Will you climb? Will you consecrate yourself? Will you leave behind the shallow waters and step into the consuming fire of the Almighty? The door is open, but not for long. Answer the call, climb the mountain, and be forever changed. The Spirit of the Lord is moving with urgency across the earth, and heaven is releasing marching orders to those who are ready, those who are listening, those whose hearts are trembling at the sound of his voice. This is not a time for delay. This is not a time to hesitate. This is not a time to weigh the cost of obedience against the convenience of comfort. This is the time to move. God is calling you higher, not just to see more, but to hear more, and then to act. For the Lord is speaking in this hour, but only those who are listening with purity, with brokenness, and with surrender will move in the power he is releasing. The season of spectatorship is over. The age of silence is closing. The Spirit is looking for those who will hear the sound behind the sound, the word behind the word, and respond with immediate obedience. For delayed obedience is disobedience, and hesitation in this hour is costly. Do you not perceive it? God is whispering his strategies in the secret place. He is releasing divine assignments that will shift atmospheres, break generational curses, establish kingdom outposts in enemy territory, and awaken sleeping cities. But these instructions are not being handed out in the open. They are being downloaded in the hidden. They are being given to those who have silenced the noise of the world, those who have bent their ear to heaven, those who have postured themselves like Samuel, saying, "Speak, Lord, for your servant is listening." The Lord is searching for those who are not only praying, but who are still enough to hear the answer. For in this hour, hearing is everything. One whisper from God can reroute your destiny. One word from heaven can dismantle years of bondage. But if your ears are dull, if your heart is distracted, if your spirit is numb, you will miss the sound. The prophets of this hour are not those who merely speak, but those who listen. The warriors who will win are those who receive their marching orders directly from the throne. God is not calling you to repeat what others say. He is calling you to receive what only the secret place can reveal. The scrolls are opening in the Spirit. The plans of heaven are being released, but only the hungry, only the broken, only the yielded are being entrusted with them. The Lord is dividing between those who are caught in the whirlwind of religious activity and those who are still enough to discern his voice. He is raising up a remnant who know the difference between good ideas and God's instruction. For many are building, many are working, many are striving, but few are waiting, few are listening, few are moving under divine direction. You must understand this is not just a call to intimacy, it is a call to instruction. For from the place of intimacy comes the download of strategy. From the posture of surrender comes the release of kingdom authority. God does not speak to entertain you. He speaks to send you. And when he sends you with power. But the power does not precede the hearing. The hearing must come first. And this is why the enemy is attacking your attention. This is why there is so much noise, so much confusion, so much digital distraction. Because the devil knows if you hear what God is saying, you will move in authority that tears down his strongholds. He knows that one word from the throne in the mouth of a yielded vessel will do more than 1,000 sermons filled with noise and no fire. The Lord is saying, "My people perish not for lack of passion, but for lack of direction." You cannot move in power if you are moving in presumption. You must listen. You must wait. You must tune your ear to the frequency of heaven until you know his voice like the rhythm of your own heartbeat. The season of casual Christianity is dead. The season of echoing yesterday's word is over. God is speaking now. Fresh fire, fresh instruction. And those who hear will build what cannot be shaken. They will go where others refuse. They will speak when others are silent. They will act when others are frozen in fear. The Spirit is looking for listeners who are ready to become doers. Immediately, look to Abraham. The Lord called him, and the word says, hay rose early in the morning.
No debate.
No negotiation, just obedience. That is what God is looking for in this hour. He is calling people who will not just pray about obedience, but will obey. He is searching for hearts that tremble when he speaks. He is looking for those who do not need to understand to say yes. You may not know the full picture. You may not see the outcome. But when the voice of the Lord speaks, you must move. And in your movement, the power comes. In your obedience, the glory falls. In your surrender, the breakthrough breaks open. There is a generation rising who will not be known for titles, platforms, or performances. They will be known as those who hear and obey. They will walk through closed doors because heaven gave them the key. They will call down fire not because they shouted louder, but because they heard clearly. They will tread on serpents and demons because they walk in sync with the Spirit. This is what God is birthing, a prophetic people, an obedient army, a burning bride whose ears are tuned to the breath of the beloved. For the bridegroom is speaking, and only those who are listening will move with him. And only those who move with him will carry his authority. So shake off the slumber, shut the door to noise. Lay your ear on the chest of the King. He is whispering blueprints. He is breathing out strategies. He is calling you higher not just to see, but to hear. And when you hear, move. When you hear, speak. For heaven is ready to back the voice of the obedient. All of creation is groaning, waiting not for more noise, but for the manifestation of the sons and daughters of God who move in sync with the voice of their Father. The marching orders have already begun to fall. The question is not whether God is speaking. The question is, are you listening? And if you are listening, are you moving? For the harvest is ripe, the time is short, and the king is calling. Let your answer be yes. Let your ears be open. Let your obedience be immediate. And let your life echo the voice of the one who sits on the throne. There is a trembling in the heavens. There is a shaking in the spirit. The time of delay is over. The hour is urgent, and the Lord is thundering a call to rise, not in comfort, but in consecration, not in routine, but in radical surrender. The voice of God is piercing through the fog of apathy and the weight of distraction, and he is asking one question: will you come out from among them and be set apart? The Lord is not calling the masses. He is summoning the remnant. He is not looking for the lukewarm or the half-hearted. He is igniting a holy fire in the hearts of those who will not bow to the culture, who will not blend into the background, who will not trade their oil for applause. This is the call of consecration. This is the demand of holiness. This is the hour where compromise will cost you everything, and only those who are set apart will survive the shaking that is now unfolding. God is not calling you higher to elevate your platform. He is calling you higher to kill your flesh. He is calling you to a place where the fire consumes everything that cannot remain. There is no room for mixture on the mountain of the Lord. There is no place for double-mindedness in the realm of the Spirit. The call to come higher is a call to die deeper. Deeper to your will, deeper to your plans, deeper to everything familiar that keeps you from burning. The Lord is making a clear distinction in this hour between those who carry his presence and those who merely carry his name. Many have grown comfortable in church culture and spiritual routines, in the safety of religion, but they do not know his voice and they do not carry his fire. They have settled for imitation, for emotion, for what is popular. But God is stripping the false coverings, and only the consecrated will stand. This is not a word of condemnation. It is a word of urgency. The Lord is extending a holy invitation to come out of compromise, to break covenant with darkness, to remove every idol, to tear down every altar that exalts itself above the knowledge of Christ. The days of spiritual entertainment are over. The days of shallow Christianity are done. Heaven is roaring for a people who are fully surrendered. The Lord is saying, I have more for you, but you must be willing to come out. You must be willing to let go. You must be willing to burn. For what fellowship does light up with darkness? What agreement is there between the temple of God and idols? Do you not know that you are his dwelling place, his vessel, his sanctuary? But he will not share space with compromise. He will not fill what is already full of self. He is calling you to empty yourself, to pour it all out, to let the fire fall on a clean altar. The Lord is removing the gray areas. The middle ground is vanishing. You will either burn with holy fire or be consumed by the fire of judgment. You will either be marked by the oil of consecration or be left dry when the bridegroom returns. There is no in between. There is no neutrality in the spirit. You cannot serve two masters. You cannot walk in power and flirt with sin. You cannot climb higher while carrying the weight of Egypt. The Lord is calling his people to purify themselves, for tomorrow he will do wonders among us. But only the consecrated will be ready. This is not about legalism. This is about alignment. This is about holiness birthed from intimacy. When you have seen him, when you have truly beheld his glory, you cannot remain in compromise. When your eyes are fixed on the Lamb, you cannot bow to idols. When your heart is consumed with his presence, you will forsake everything that quenches it. The Lord is not asking for perfection. He is asking for surrender. He is asking for hunger. He is asking for a cry from deep within that says, God, whatever it costs, make me holy. Set me apart. Burn away everything that stands between us. Do you hear the sound? The Spirit is calling a generation to come out from the crowd and into the cloud. He is calling them to step away from distraction and into divine distinction. He is raising up those who will not be defiled by Babylon, who will not eat from the king's table, who will not drink the wine of compromise. Like Daniel, like Esther, like Elijah, like the Nazarites of old, he is marking those who will live differently, walk differently, burn differently. They will be misunderstood. They will be mocked. They will be isolated. But they will carry the glory. They will speak his word. They will shift atmospheres with a whisper because heaven will back them with fire. This is the hour of decision. The Lord is drawing a line. You cannot go higher without letting go of what is holding you down. You cannot enter the Holy of Holies while clinging to the patterns of the world. Come out from among them. Break ties with the things that grieve the Spirit. Cancel every assignment of mixture in your life. Purge your eyes, your ears, your lips, your hands. Let your heart be torn open in repentance. This is not about behavior modification. This is about heart transformation. This is about becoming a resting place for God. There is a remnant that is rising, a company of laid down lovers, of burning ones, of consecrated vessels. They may be hidden now, but heaven knows their names. They may be unknown on earth, but their cries shake the heavens. They have said yes to the fire. They have said yes to the narrow road. They have said yes to the cost. And the Lord is saying, these are my people. These are my priests. These are the ones who will carry my presence in power. Do not miss your moment. The invitation is holy. The invitation is now, come out from among them. Be separate. Be holy. Be his. There is no greater calling than to be set apart for the one who gave it all. There is no higher honor than to be marked by his fire. There is no greater joy than to burn for his glory. Say yes. Consecrate yourself. The king is calling. Will you be ready?